How many times do you sit down in the same place thinking,
today I'm gonna do great things,
and then not much happens? Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel where today we're gonna touch upon changing your environment to change your life. This is one thing that has been so essential in my life for the changes that I've already made. I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who thrives being alone a lot of the time, and I actually crave a lot of alone time. But you're gonna get to a certain point where you have to realize if you want change, that's probably for a reason. And I know we heard all about monk mode, and maybe that's good to do, I don't know. But I know for me, what I need to do is work hard, but it's not working the same and it's not staying isolated. But that's the exact point of this video. You need to figure out for you and your goals what you need to do. If you currently look at your life, your goals, your happiness, if you were to rate your happiness throughout the day, whether it's a weekday or a weekend, how happy are you? And I don't mean how comfortable are you, I mean how happy are you? Because let's face it, we're more comfortable than ever, but we're definitely not happier than ever, as Billie Eilish would say. Piggybacking off of my last video, if you haven't watched that, go watch it right here. And maybe I can figure out how to put it here. What I'm essentially doing this month is seeing it as the real new year. It's spring, it's time to create new things in life. And one of the biggest ways to do that is to change your environment. And I don't mean start partying somewhere else unless you really want to, but I don't think you'd be here if that was the kind of life you wanted. What I mean is you're so addicted to easy dopamine and scrolling and being comfortable. And while it's really important to have good moments to feel safe, to have a regulated nervous system, the funny thing is often the things we're doing is a coping mechanism. We're doing things that actually dysregulate us long term. Why do you think more people than ever have anxiety? They can't function properly. They feel like they have to have all of these coping mechanisms. It's because we're constantly living in this busy world while we're also self-soothing, and things have become so comfortable, but at the same time, we feel so scared of this world. It feels like everything is happening so fast, yet we're also wasting so much time every single day, and we don't even realize it. We don't realize how much we're not living because we always get stimulated somehow by the online world mainly. So what I need you to do is look around you, look at your environment. How many things and places are the same? Is your place the same? Is there something you'd like to switch up? That's an obvious number one. What about now it's spring? Do you have new clothes? Do you have, maybe you even want to build like a new capsule wardrobe wise? Do you work at home? Do you sit at your desk doing your work then? Do you have a designated spot for this is where I go to do my work? This is where I feel like I can go and it doesn't feel like I'm at home. I work part-time 4 days a week at a place, at an office, but I'm also a full-time student. And so I'm doing my own work, which also means that it's a lot of self-study. So, but I've gotten to the point where I don't feel like I resonate with just being in my tiny apartment anymore because I can't work here. I'm at the last year of school. I cannot stand being there for too long. Like the 2 days a week I have to be there for class for like 3-4 hours is more than enough for me. So I'm experimenting right now being like, if I want to step into the new me and into a new energy, I have to go to new places. And spoiler alert, it doesn't feel too comfortable. I swear to God, even though I had a laptop with me, just going into a coffee shop and sitting there alone felt so uncomfortable. I felt so much resistance to it. But as someone who has changed her life several times and is working on it once again, what I can tell you is the times I look back and see my own growth and see the times where I felt the happiest, it's always been when I pushed myself into the uncomfortable. And that never happens when you stay in safe environments. Think about when you start a new job and you're so nervous and you're like fumbling and you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, and everything just feels awkward and tense and you're so nervous at first. And then a month in or so, you're pretty much used to a lot of things and you're doing things well. And then when things settle down, that's when you can kind of tell, oh, this just kind of feels like it's on automation. But is it something that I love now? I don't know. It's just something I do. But that shows you the power of showing up when you have to get good at something, and how much your body and your nervous system changes as you do it. Even me going into a freaking coffee shop, I wasn't exactly shaking, but I didn't get that much work done the first day because I was like,
this feels uncomfortable. Like I'm almost the only one here alone.
when I decided now it's time to freaking lose weight, do you think it was comfortable for me to start even shopping different food, to tell people what I was doing? To go to the gym is terrifying when you're overweight, when you're new to this. And most people, thank God, and I do too now when I see people, we secretly root for each other, and we root for people we see that are obviously new, beginners, struggling, people who are dealing with things that we know nothing about. Because you understand when you're there, a lot of times you learn that it's just as much a mental thing, and it helps you so much with mental health to be there. It's a place where you can go and you can set things aside and you can grow and get better, and you can it's almost like a timeout from life, and then you feel completely clear and different after. But it didn't feel like that at first. When I started working out, I was crying all the time. I wasn't happy. But I knew that it was for the future me that I was uncomfortable. It wasn't even to become comfortable one day. It was simply just because I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to be this person anymore. And guess what? Now I'm not. And I haven't been for quite a few years. With that said, while we're on the fitness gym track, I literally just changed again. Honestly, I felt like my gym was depressing. I didn't want to be there. I wasn't motivated. I needed a change. Now, was I comfortable at the gym? Yeah. Did I know where the machines were, how they worked? Yeah. But did I feel, as weird as it sounds about a gym, did I feel like I was settling in the gym? Yes. Did I like being there? No. Then guess what? Take responsibility for your life and freaking change it. I had a gym membership essentially on this app where you can access a bunch of different gyms. As I was going through all the kinds of classes, I was like, oh my God, I can finally do HIIT, I can do boxing, I can do even some dancing, I can do yoga, Pilates, reformer Pilates, thank God. You have no idea. I was like, and I'm gonna have to spend some time getting to these places, but I was just so freaking excited. But guess what came up with all that excitement? Fear and awkward feelings, because I was like, ugh, I'm gonna have to go to so many new places for the first time in a short amount of time, and it's gonna keep consistently happening. But the thing is, there is a future you calling you to go to places where you're gonna be uncomfortable, and you're gonna have to learn to trust that voice calling you, because I know there's no way that you haven't experienced this in your life where you followed a nudge, where you had enough of yourself, of a situation, you quit whatever it was, and you then go towards better. You don't necessarily know exactly where or what, but you just knew that you have to shift. Maybe this has to do with your friend group. Maybe that's what needs to change. Maybe you just need to add people. Maybe you want to actually go to these gym places, and maybe you want to go to meetups, network. Maybe you want to actually seek out actively people who will relate to you, who will resonate with you. And guess what? It can take time, and I can promise you it will feel uncomfortable. But the one thing I need you to keep focusing on is imagine a future you, even at 80 years old, looking back at her or his life, or you this summer, after having been at the gym consistently, maybe for the first time in a long time, going to a new gym like me, having all these new experiences, potentially all these new people. I now have a person I can go do boxing with. And it's always in pairs. And I always feel like, God damn it, I have to find a new person again today. So now I have someone I can go with sometimes, which is amazing. Obviously, when we talk about changing our environment, that is automatically going to mean looking into your relationships as well. So maybe the best thing for you to do is to look at your life overall and say, how happy am I with my life? How would I rate these different parts of my life? Where you draw out every aspect of your life, and it starts to look crazy when you see how unhappy you actually might be. Maybe it's just the little changes of going on a date with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or Like either you start going on more dates or you start saying, let's actually write a list of these new places to try instead of always doing the same old, same old. Maybe it's even like the place you get takeaway from. It's romanticizing little moments by doing it differently. It's maybe doing something together. Or if you're single like me, it's going on more solo dates, being brave and going alone. It's leaning into the uncomfortable feeling of being alone but not lonely. So essentially, this video was inspired by my own uncomfortable feeling today as I was signing up for classes. I'm doing a lot of different things this week, but I am excited for it, and I know that, and I know in general what I'm doing right now is switching everything up. I'm clearing out my closet, I am throwing things out, I'm donating, I'm selling things, and I'm slowly adding new things in. What you need to do first and foremost is have a real and honest assessment of where you are and your own happiness and fulfillment in life. And then you need to tell yourself, I need to change. I was thinking about maybe starting to do vlogging as well to kind of vlog my own experience of this because it also gives it more meaning. And I really want to add on to this momentum of doing things because honestly, I feel like one of my biggest gifts and blessings in my lifetime so far has been feeling stagnant in certain areas of my life where I've also moved across country and started over. And I feel like I've learned so much and I've seen myself do this over and over again, whether it's moving, starting over with school or even doing this or my body, right? I've done things plenty of times where I unfortunately shamed myself into change, but where I've learned so much about how to do it the right way. So I might start vlogging on that. I'm definitely going to bring up more of these kind of things. Also, please go to my TikTok because I'm making so many more little videos on that kind of stuff over there. So if you are into this kind of content, maybe go do the short form as well on TikTok. I want to know where are places that you feel called to go. What are the aspects of your environment that you're feeling called to change? Is it something that more closely relates to your relationships? Because I can tell you, for me, a big part of why I want to go to these new places is because I feel called to add more people into my life. Because I do feel like a lot of my life I've let myself settle or almost play a role of someone I'm not because I want to feel human. I want to feel connection. I want to feel a part of what people are doing. But at the end of the day, I'm at a point now where I've just seen so many times in my life that if you don't choose things yourself, if you don't take it on for yourself to go and do these things and to change these things, you're not going to see any change. So I'm going to need you to do that for yourself. So let me know what area of life you're most focused on. For me, honestly, it might be all areas. You want to find true, authentic connection with like-minded people. So that's going to require me to leave my apartment. That's going to require me to get uncomfortable because I need to meet my future self as the current me. And guess what? She's in places that I'm not currently. She's comfortable in places that I'm not currently. But that's the whole point of this. All right, that was a little video for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another one. Bye.